Hello, everyone. I would like to explain about the ESG perspective in the oil and gas industry, a research related to climate science and energy security. So in this research, I proposed this title because it is in my industry as well. So in this research title, it is started from the COVID-19 to move away from fossil fuel. There is a thought that uh, to lower down the climate change from UN. So in this case, the oil and gas industry is also affected. So we have the decarbonization and ESG in our industry. Since we know that in the 50 years ago in our industry, there is a CUS, meaning that the carbon capture, it's already been researched since 50 years ago. So we have already started before the COVID-19 to lower down the emission. So the initiations we is no longer happening if we don't have the energy security, because energy security for the electricity, cooking, and any materials is also needed by many people. So we have the topic overview here, how to solve the problem. ONG industry can adapt to this situation. Here is there. I would like to explain to you why there is also affected in oil and gas industry because of the geopolitical issue. Another country wants to dominate, or other countries wants to occupy other place because there are many resources from other place, or they want to sell the resources from their own country to many as possible. So this is about the geopolitical issue. Started from the COVID-19 pandemic, because not much people movement. That's why they have the initiation to lower the GHG emission. And then the war and the geopolitical issue between Israel, Palestine, Ukraine, USA, and China for the trade war. And then also the Paris Agreement that we mentioned before, that the lower down the emissions to move away from fossil fuel and to cut the emissions. And then there's also finance for the green energy. And then there's an impact to oil and gas industry and some countries. And ONG need to utilize green energy. And then the termination of the ONG, oil and gas industry, means there is no preserve ready for the electricity and energy security. So it caused the blackout in the many countries, and many also utilize the green energy, but it is not enough to preserve for the energy security. And then there are many things happen, and also there's pledge also from many countries. There's pledge also to lower the emission, net zero, and diversify green energy and adopting ESG. And then there's still ongoing geopolitical issue. We are not sure yet until when, but it will, of course, will disrupt the geopolitical, economical, and also the energy security. And the research problem here, would it be possible for the world to move away from fossil fuel? It becomes the questions in all of people, not only me. And then is the environmental climate change perspective well enough to answer the world history of climate? Because there's also climate change harsher than today in the past. So climate change is related not only to the humans. It means that it also related to the earth and beyond. It beyond our control. That's why there are Jurassics, and then it was already died many years or million years ago. So how many percentage of human activities in the world utilizing fossil fuel can affect climate change? So these are the research problem that we need to know and we can solve to address the future energy security. So this is the theoretical framework or literature foundation. This is what I informed before, that the climate science before human inhabitants. It cannot still be seen in here because it was from long time ago, million years ago, before human existed, when the Earth existed at the first time. And then there was the Jurassic Park era, and then also there's split in the continental. That's why there are many continents here, and also climate change and disaster and eruptions in the past. Not only in the past, but until today. So in this case, I would like to question again whether it is also relevant to today's global warming theory, because in the today's global warming theory, they didn't refer to the past, where the Earth came from the past. And also the climate change is something we don't know. So this is the 20th century climate change issue. It means that we are not only refer to today's or present time, but we also need to refer to the past time. And we also have the ESG in oil and gas. We have environmental, the action of being a good steward for environment, and social for social responsibility to sustain society, worker safety, health, societal involvement like CSR, and the governance for the corporate governance and the policy, and also anti-bribery and so on. And then this one is the energy security. There's only few research on the energy security due to the media promoting today's climate change, since their intention or our intention to lower down the emissions. And then according to the CHIRP, also energy security, we also need it to supply the nation. It is important because it is for our national security. If any disruption, it will affect social unrest like geopolitical situation. And this is the research methodology. I use the quantitative method by sending the survey of the questionnaires to many people, around 50 people. And then also the qualitative research method by using many literatures and articles to describe the theories, especially in the climate science, ESG, and also the energy security. The studying on the past and the present literature to avoid bias and by the bias and for holistic approach. And for the expected contributions, by building credibility in the oil and gas industry. So we also need to be consistent in the role despite all the geopolitical issue, and also significant to keep the integrity and the compliance in our industry. And we also have the role for the energy security for many people, and also keep the peace and inclusion within the society. So there's no prejudice, no bias, even though there are many geopolitical issues. Thank you, everyone. Good evening.